So post conviction relief, right? So there was a case that came out some years ago that gave especially immigrants the opportunity to challenge their convictions, particularly if they weren't given the right type of warnings, when they took a plea on the case, right? So that has since passed, but sometimes some people, folks can still file those kind of motions. That's one. So would you create or establish a unit that would deal with post-conviction relief? And particularly, like, for instance, even with the idea now that no one wants to prosecute marijuana cases, there have been people that have marijuana cases that are really causing all kind of grief in their life. Would you set up a unit to deal with post-conviction relief to, maybe for some immigration cases, or would you like vacate all the convictions of people that have marijuana convictions since moving forward no one wants to prosecute those cases? How do you want to handle that?
So I don't think there's a necessity for those two particular things to have a unit, but to have a task force to do it, I think is appropriate.
Okay.
The difference between a unit and a task force, a unit is something that's everlasting. An economic crimes unit, a hate crimes unit. These are just going to happen in our community. We're not going to have them for 10 years and get rid of them. A task force deals with the specific issues that or a specific issue. Okay. So essentially, we have right now a sealing and expungement task force. The sealing and expungement folks, they do other things, but when it's time to buckle down and do sealing and expungement, they're called to the table to do the sealing and expungement. So yes, I would create a task force for it. But also, we have people engaging in these things in our appeals unit already, or they've been asking for this type of relief. We just have never given it. So when my opponent says, and I'm saying opponent because there's only one person that ever says this, we do this, and let's check my record, I've done this. It's not true. It's not accurate, because we do not do this. They haven't done it. And when they have done it, it's been done recently for political purposes. So it's not stability that is being maintained if this person is voted in the office. In fact, what it is the same old mess. So we got 3 years of nonsense, and we got 1 year of tacit reform. So the one thing that another candidate said, which is very true, was that you vote someone in the office, they don't do what they say they're going to do. Absolutely. Doesn't matter what color of skin you have. We have plenty of folks within every walk of life who have promised and not delivered, which is why I don't promise the types of things that some of these other candidates have promised of dismantling the cash bail system, dismantling mass incarceration, dismantling school to prison pipeline. If these are dog whistles. These are dog whistles. What we will do is chip away at the effects the state attorney's office has on those particular entities. Period. Point blank.
Yeah, because BSO has to buy into that too. So it's just more than just one organization that would have to make that work.
Now, when it comes down to the school to prison pipeline, we have a direct effect on that because we are ones generally incarcerating, keeping kids and adults incarcerated for longer periods of time. However, what I have said is, look, we are focusing a lot of energy on direct filing, which is horrible. Horrible. Not an advocate for it. As I've said, all direct files will come across my desk, so you'll know exactly who is direct filing, and you can put me to task, okay? If I'm direct filing something that you believe that shouldn't be direct filed. But I am also equally concerned with not only the 16 and 17-year-old, but the 18, 19, 20-year-old who went to this corner store. The mama said, don't get in the car with James. You got in the car with James. James is a knucklehead, but James is your friend. And James, just like in Juice, pulls out a gun, goes into the store, or Boys in the Hood, and they pull out a gun, and or it's Mr. Society, excuse me. Pull out a gun, they rob the place, then you guys hop into the car and drive away. You get pulled over by the police, and then now you're both looking at 30 years to life because you didn't do what your mom said, but you don't have any priors. You've never done anything.
They're not getting involved in all of that.
State attorney's office has never cared about anything like that, ever. And these are the types of things that we need to be aware of.
Yeah, so definitely. So it was a pleasure talking to you. So, all right, let people know how they can donate to your campaign, how they can volunteer, and all of those things. So give it your social media handles again. I mean, we see it in our face, and tell them when it is you want them to vote for you.
Absolutely. Well, Sandra, you personally and everybody you know can go to davidcannady.com and then click that red button at the top and click it 1,000 times and give $1,000, because that's the maximum you can give. This is a people power campaign, and we've done a very good job in making it as such, and we've made some excellent strides in the community. We appreciate everyone who has contributed, and we'd love you to contribute more. Go to Vote Cannady on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And you can also reach me personally. Shoot me a text, 954-707-0530. It's 954-707-0530. Text me and I'll make sure I get back to you.